If you're looking for a reading curriculum that is fun for kids, easy to use, and that will push your kids to be better readers, even better than those in elite, pricey private schools, you've come to the right channel, because today I'm going to tell you about the top reading curriculum in 2022. In this video, we're going to go over why this program is superior to the others based on the science of reading, a little bit based on my own personal ease of use, and we're going to go over how to use the program and how to order the program. By the way, if it's your first time here and you're interested in the best way to teach your child to have a fun and happy relationship with education while maximizing their potential, start now by subscribing and clicking on the little bell notification so that you don't miss a thing. It may seem like all programs are the same, but they are really not. I made this mistake as a teacher earlier in my career, and I wasn't able to decipher the difference between big name reading programs. However, there are science-based things that every reading curriculum needs in order to reach all students. And if they're missing even just one of these components, it can really throw the balance off and affect the way a child puts the pieces together when learning how to read. These missing components happen in big name curriculums such as McGraw-Hill and homeschool programs such as preK, and even your favorite programs such as Jolly Phonics. Children can learn to read with these programs, but many also cannot. And that's when you might use a curriculum and say, this worked for this child, but it's not working for my second child, or it's not working for these kids in the class. It's because that original program didn't have all of the components that they really needed. So for me, as a full-time working parent from home and a full-time homeschool parent, I need a program that has everything right there all together. I don't want to be going off, cutting a whole bunch of things, pasting things, downloading things, pasting little books together. So this program has that. All the materials are in just one book for the student and one book for the teacher. It's colorful, it's bright and fun, so it keeps the kids' attention. And the only thing I know we'll need for every lesson is a pair of scissors and a pencil. And I know I will need something like a paper or iPad or a board, something to show the kids what I'm writing. I also don't have a lot of time during the day. I know that every single day I can count on short, about 25-minute lessons, and if I do that every single day for months, my children will be much better off than they would be if I struggled through a 2-hour reading block. So back to why this program is superior. A strong reading program reaches all students regardless of what language they speak or if they have any learning disabilities or challenges. So why do kids struggle with phonics? Well, two things. Number one is teacher quality, and number two is curriculum quality. So this curriculum knocks those out by number one being a really strong curriculum, and number two telling you exactly what to teach so that you don't have to be a teacher with 40 years of reading experience in order to teach your child. Here's how it's different. This program teaches phonics in a research-based way. This program has a very strong scope and sequence. That means that it starts with the real basics of phonics, basic sounds, and builds up to more complex sounds. Within this scope, there's a lot of review and a lot of repetition so that children master those sounds. This is what a lot of curriculum is lacking. It'll have some review and then it will stop. And then you'll go pages and pages without having reviewed those initial sounds. The second thing is that blending of words must be modeled often and practiced often by the students. You have to model, and have them practice blending a lot. Very good. Nice. Next, there must be a lot of guided spelling where children use the reading skills and transfer that into their writing. So they should be sounding out the words and writing them at the same time. In this book, the children are doing that daily. A good program like this one also should include a chance for students to talk about words, to study them, and to talk about how words are built. To me, this is the most impressive thing, and this is the thing that really stands out when you go into a classroom that has really strong reading phonics. And I've been to the best public and private schools all around. Wherever I go, I tour them. And I always notice that the best places the students are talking about how words work and talking about the different components of words. So yes, you guys know my kids know how to read, but before we started this program, they were not talking about how words were made up like this. Yes.
I learned that each category still has but the difference is that the ending sounds different.
So I'm really happy with this program. And of course you need to be studying high frequency words. Children actually need to be taught some of these words earlier than others so that they don't attempt to sound out words that are irregular and they don't get confused. Another thing that's also very, very important is that children should be reading close to 100% decodable text. That is, if children know 5 or 6 sounds, the little books that they're reading or the passages they are reading should only include those 5 or 6 sounds. It's not fair to them to throw in other words or sounds that they haven't mastered yet, and then you're teaching them, number one, to guess, and you're also getting them frustrated. So I love that these texts are almost 100% decodable. In kindergarten, they even have, instead of having a word, if they haven't learned something like the long O for bone, they'll put he has the, and they'll have a picture of bone instead of the word. And the last 2 things are teacher quality. This teacher's manual is so good. It tells you what to say, and it also teaches you about the phonics so that you are empowered with the ability to teach the children how to read. And honestly, this is a gift that's going to be passed on for generations and generations to come. And that's what I'm all about. Another thing that this program really has is really good pacing. It cuts down on any wasted time. The bottom line, guys, is that this curriculum does all those things really well. And if you don't believe me, believe EdReports. The evidence is it is only one of 2 foundational skills programs rated all green by EdReports, which is a nonprofit made up of teachers and educational experts that reviews K-12 instructional materials. So how it works, publishers send in the curriculum, this team of experts goes through it with a fine-tooth comb, and then they give them points based on how strong the program is. The points are based on established, research-based best practices in education. Publishers are then able to respond to the feedback, and if they want, they can change their program and submit changes. And the really good curriculum have, if you look at some McGraw-Hill texts from like 2000 versus 2015 versus 2020, you'll see that they have made changes, and now a lot of their programs are rated green. Make sure you're getting the 2020 or the newest version of these materials. Now, I know some of your favorite programs are on there and they're not rated green, and you're gonna get all upset saying how this is a great program, but the reality is take a look at the details and you will see that there are things missing. That's not to say that you can't use those programs, you certainly can, but then you'll have to fill in those gaps. And I know for me right now in this moment, I am just not at a place where I want to be filling in gaps, paying for a curriculum, and having to fill in gaps. I am not loyal to any brand. I'm loyal to what works for all kids. So now I'm just going to briefly go over the program. I don't think I've said the program name yet. The program is called From Phonics to Reading, and it's written by, in part, Wiley Blevins and probably his team. So there are 4 levels, K, A, B, and C. A, B, C stand for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And so the ones that were reviewed by EdReports were for foundational skills, kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade. Really, when you get into 3rd grade, children are not supposed to be learning how to read anymore. They're moving into comprehension. So I'm not sure if that's why the 3rd grade wasn't sent as a review, but I'm sure it's just as strong as the other 3 levels. So this curriculum is broken up into 30 lessons, and each lesson takes a 5-day school week to teach. So in reality, there are 180 lessons for 180 school days. Now, I love it because the individual daily lessons take anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, depending on grade level or the particular day. I love that it's these bite-sized lessons. The kids have so much fun. The pacing is really good. They're always wanting to do more, and that's great when you can leave kids wanting more. They're happy, they're excited about it. All I need to do is give them little checks or little like stamps for smiley faces, and they love it. They are excited about it. The awesome thing is that if I want to, I can double up lessons. So I can do one lesson in the morning and one lesson at night. And that's only because my kids can already read. I just want to make sure that they understand reading deeply now. So if you homeschool, or if you are teaching your child at home in addition to them learning at school, if you do one lesson a day for 1 year, they'll get through 2 years worth of the program. And if your child is in 2nd or 3rd grade and they're struggling, or even if they're not struggling, I highly recommend that you start with the level A, the 1st grade level of this program. It's the thickest book and it contains a lot of information. Here's how I decided to move them back. I looked at a random page towards the end of the 1st grade book and I thought to myself, okay, my kids can read these words, but can they spell these words 100%? Can they also tell me how these words are related to other words? Can they break down these words into their components? Can they talk to me about inflectional endings? Can they talk to me about initial sounds? Can they talk to me about blends? Can they talk to me about possessives? And honestly, my answer was no. And so that's why I said, okay, girls, even though you can read, I'm pulling you back to 1st grade so that by the end of this 1 year cycle, you'll be reading better than anyone in this country. And I don't know about you guys, but that is my goal. I always want my children to be at the top. Finally, how do you order this? So I'm linking the website below, but they have been having issues with their website. So definitely give them a call. I called and they said everyone's experiencing issues with the website, so it's easiest to just call and place your orders. They do sell to individuals, homeschoolers, and schools, so that's really different from other curriculum who sometimes only sell to schools. You need the teacher's book for sure. You must get the teacher's manual and you must follow it, guys. You must. And you need the student book. The student book is only like $15, which is amazing. The teacher's manual is $66. Now, do not, I repeat, do not try to teach this without the teacher's manual. Do not try to teach this without the teacher's manual. Do not try to teach this without the teacher's manual. The child's going to be frustrated. You're going to be frustrated. Spend the $80 plus shipping and taxes to get the curriculum, okay? You can look on eBay and Amazon, etc., and all these other thrift book websites for the teacher's guide if you want. But honestly, they are charging more than what the publisher is charging. Even though as an individual, you can get the teacher's manual and the student book, you're not able to access the online components. So I was actually given wrong information by their own help center. I found this. You can actually register as a homeschool. This page will pop up. You'll enter your email. You'll go into your email, click this link, and then you'll log in using the password you made. You'll register the product using this little code that you will find in the teacher's manual that you purchase. Then you'll have access to the online material. So online you'll find more help if you or the child is struggling, including this thing called ABC Express, which is like a whole different program, but it teaches all the basic letter sounds. So if you have a younger kid or if you have someone who is just struggling with all the basic letter sounds, this is like an express program apparently. It also contains the phonics surveys that you'll need, and it contains the letter sounds cards that you'll need. But why would you use their boring ones when you could use my beautiful watercolor ones and support us? And the kids like it. You can also use this digitally, or you can print it out, make it a poster, put it up on your wall. That's what I did. If possible, order with a prepaid card. So I used Cash App and I just load my Cash card. Thank God, because they kept charging me because the grade 3 teacher's manual was back ordered at the time. And so because of whatever antiquated system they are using, it just kept charging me for the back ordered item and kept saying that my item had been shipped, right? So they ended up charging me like $380 twice. And now they are still, I looked at my phone the other day for some reason, it's still charging me $83, but it keeps getting rejected because I use a prepaid Cash App card. So if you can do that, do. Or if there's something that they say that's back ordered, just tell them you'll call back later and you'll order it when it's in stock, because I think that's where the problem came from. Okay, if you guys have any questions or comments, please do leave them down below and use the village. Please answer people's questions. I certainly try to do as many as I can, but you guys are very knowledgeable out there. If people have questions in the comment section below, please answer their questions to the best of your ability. If this has helped you in any way, you can support me by buying my sound cards, by liking this video, by subscribing, by sharing the video. So many ways to support. Thank you guys so much. And thanks for 100K. Woo! Bye-bye.